there, I'm Andrea Wenburg from the Voice of Influence podcast and the Voice of Influence consulting firm for leadership and organization development. And these are my top 5 ways that leaders and managers can be effective coaches. Number 1, decide how you want to show up for your team. When people step up into leadership positions, they usually have great intentions, but they're not always intentional about how they're going to proceed. In our leadership and manager training programs, participants spend time to do reflection and really cast a vision for what kind of leader they want to be. Deciding how you want to show up for your team is going to require reflection and sometimes some real growing pains. But once leaders do this hard work, they have a strong core from which they can grow and then go on and adapt and expand as their leadership continues to grow. Number 2, get good at being honest with yourself and receiving constructive feedback from others. The last thing that most of us want to hear is that we're falling short in some kind of way. But I find it interesting because on our Voice of Influence podcast, at the end of every show, when I'm interviewing a business leader, I ask, what is the one last piece of advice that you would want to give to somebody who wants to have a voice of influence in their company? A lot of them talk about authenticity, being honest about strengths and weaknesses, successes and failures. Leaders who are willing to do the reflection and be perfectly honest about where they are going to be able to figure out how to get to where they want to go. And the same is true for their teams and the individuals who they are coaching. There's no need to judge yourself or others. Just be honest about where you are and build from there. Number 3, be future focused. Coaching focuses on one's potential. Though there are times when corrective action is needed, coaching is usually future focused on one's potential and what could be instead of what happened in the past. So as you're working with your team, you can help people see the downstream impact of the actions that they take and the decisions that they make so that they can have a more enterprise view of how they're going to approach their jobs. Helping people to see the potential that lies in the future is one of the most powerful things that a leader can do as a coach. Number 4, conduct frequent, quick check-ins. Everyone knows that you don't wait until the annual review to dump a list of concerns on the lap of a direct report. Frequent, quick check-ins allow you to address issues when they are small, avoiding all of the drama and potential downstream impact. Being intentional about these regular conversations will reduce stress, anxiety, frustration, and confusion for you and your team. When people know that you are for them, you respect them, and you're there to support them, they are going to be much more interested in ways that you want to challenge them. Number 5, be clear about roles, responsibilities, expectations, and deadlines. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. There is a big difference between being bossy and being clear. While people don't want to live under command and control conditions, they do want to know what the expectations are, whether or not they're meeting them, and how they can improve. Too often, leaders neglect to communicate these things that seem obvious to them, but may not be so apparent to others. I'm Andrea Wenburg with Voice of Influence, and these are my top 5 ways that leaders and managers can be effective coaches. Don't forget, your voice matters, and you can make it matter more.